Hi, I'm Taylor Casper. My background kind of starts one and a half. My mom got paralyzed in an automobile accident, and my dad was a heroin junkie from the time that I was little. So I don't know him at all. I was my mom's caregiver, and so I took care of my mom and I went to school and then I came home. And that's kind of all it was. And then I started smoking weed and messing with my mom's medicine. Shortly after that, I was with a close family friend and I was sexually assaulted by him. Then, shortly after that, I became pregnant. So I was a little bit worried about that. There was a possibility that it could be, the person that sexually assaulted me, and that was terrifying. And then he came out, and he was, the first person's child, and it was amazing. He was the first blessing that I ever actually got, but I was 15. And so I had no idea what I was doing. I only knew like what I had seen in like movies and like my cousins do. And so because of that, I had to grow up really fast. As I was growing up too fast, I started experimenting with different drugs, more drugs, harder substances, meth, things like that. I started actually, losing myself. I got to the point where I was just completely out of it, out of my mind, really. And so they removed my son, Bentley, from my care. It took me 2 years to get custody of him, and I got custody back of him. And I got pregnant with my son, Kingston, and he was a lifesaver yet again. I always kind of like stayed on this path of like, things will go really good for a little bit, but only for a little bit, and then I would always relapse. Really, I didn't know God at that time. I didn't know that there was this thing out there that's so much overwhelming peace and joy, and you don't ever have to feel like the things that happen to you. You don't have to do that. When I got pregnant with Kingston, I breastfed him, and as soon as I got done breastfeeding, I relapsed again. And my husband, he came to me and he said, if this doesn't stop right now, I'm gonna have to leave you. And I really don't want to leave you. He's like, look at what you're doing to your kids, look at what you're doing to our family. And I couldn't see any of that because the drugs had clouded what was really real. I had a woman come from this church. She rode a bike to my house and she prayed with me because I was crying and I didn't know what to do. And I said, God, just give me one sign that something's gonna be okay. Like, just give me one sign that I'm not in this by myself. And my phone rang, and it was Sage, and she was calling me, and she said, hey, I need to pray with you. I feel like I need to pray. And at that moment, I just knew like God was there, and he was ready to fix me. And I got up off the ground, and I opened the front door, and Sage was there, and we prayed, and I cried, and I wept, and it was the most beautiful experience I have ever experienced. And my husband was there, and we got to just do it together, and that's when everything really changed for me. And she said, come to City Church. I said, okay, I'll come to City Church. I'll give it a try. And I haven't left. I came to groups. I'm in the movement now. I come every single Sunday. I mean, really, this church has saved my life. I mean, all praise to God, but this church has saved my life.